What you are currently seeing is a recent photo I took, well, not me, my father took it, of my new motherboard, where evidently this little CPU has evidently mangled it in at least one place. This is my new motherboard that I purchased about a week ago, and it worked for about a day. This is my old motherboard, both of which are ASUS motherboards, one being a PX58D-E, I believe, and this other is a Rampage 3 Gene. I have no idea why they chose that particular name. Evidently, on both sockets for the CPUs, it's kind of hard to see, but if you look closely enough, you will see that there are a couple of pins that are bent. And evidently my CPU, which is a LGA 1366, it's kind of a rare species, especially now that Intel has discontinued them since 2011. I don't know if it's because the chip itself is faulty, or if I simply inserted them in wrong the first time and then was like, oh crap, it goes in this way, and then locked it in place. But either way, this one, the one I've been using for a year and a half, looks horribly mangled. And it's pretty safe to assume that it was in fact the motherboard that was going bonkers. For the past 2.5 weeks, I was experiencing, well, 2.5 weeks ago, I was having a problem where one of my drives was going really slow, up to the point where I thought, okay, there's a drive that's going bad. So I went ahead and ordered a new 3 terabyte drive so I could move the files over, and it just stopped transferring files. So I thought, oh crap, my motherboard is going bad. As Nash had told me on Tuesday Tech Talk, that the South Bridge must be about ready to go, because I brought up a little tidbit that was unrelated to my problem, which was sort of related to my webcam. So I've been talking to the Lord Cat chat room. Some of their best people were just ready and willing to help out, and God bless them. That they're the best. You cannot do any better than the Lord Cat Mafia. We went through all of the options. First I thought that it was the motherboard. Then I started wondering maybe it was the CPU going bad. Then one of the higher ups, one of the smarter people, I would say, suggested no, the CPU, motherboard, and RAM, they all work in tandem, so it's got to be something else. So my father and a friend of his, by the way, that'd be him. Say hello.
Hello.
We figured that the CPU was at fault, which was an 800 watt.
You mean the power supply?
The power supply, yes. I was trying to remember the brand name. I think it was I think it's an Intermax. I think. Yep, it's an Intermax Mod U87. And yes, it is indeed very, very heavy, especially with all those heavy-ass wires. So, today, well, I'm sort of moving ahead of myself with this shot. So we thought that maybe it was the video card that was going bad, so I went ahead and bought a new video card. This here is the old video card, a Radeon 6850, I believe, 1 gigabyte. I think it's 128-bit. As with all video cards, they put a hot CGI chick on there to let you know that, oh, this picture was generated with this video card. So I upgraded to a Radeon 7770 1 gigabyte. Not much in terms of memory or memory interface, but there's some improvements. I'm just glad it's not a giant-ass cartridge like this. I shot a similar video just on the size of these gigantic cartridges. I refuse to call these cards. They do not look like cards. But that's a rant for another day. So we went ahead and put together the computer with the new card. Still no problem. No problem. There was plenty of problems. Mostly the problem with the fact that it would not go to post. For those that don't know, that means power on self-test. That's a series of tests you get whenever you turn on your computer. So evidently the video card was not the problem. That we know of anyway. So I went ahead and took another plunge and bought a Seasonic 1000 Platinum. That is in fact a 1000 watt 80 plus platinum power supply, which if everything was up and running, it would make everything in my computer run like clockwork. I could even run a couple of devices on my case that I couldn't before, because before I didn't have enough Molex adapters. Now I do. Yay. Just a pity it doesn't work right now. So we have officially deduced that it is in fact the motherboard, or motherboards in this case, because of the mangled sockets.
We think.
We think. That is the general idea right now, because if I could just hold the camera steady for a second, you could see that there's a couple of irregularities in the motherboard. Namely, this little section right here at the tip of my fingernail, and right there as well, and right there. I think there's one up here too, but it's kind of hard to tell because it's all dark. But yeah, there's some really mangled pins that are just bent into foobar position, shall we say. So we're going to try and take care of this motherboard issue, and maybe, just maybe, I can get everything back up and running, and we'll have the Playhouse back up and running to where I can entertain everybody. But I just wanted everybody to know that this is what I've had to deal with for the past 2.5 weeks, and I'm hoping everything plays out well in the end, because it's been very aggravating. It's been very time consuming. I've been sweating an awful lot because of this, because I was like, holy shit, why isn't this working? Why isn't this working? And worst of all, I spent about, I'm going to estimate maybe $700. Way too much. I did not like the idea of spending that much money, because I definitely cannot go to MagFest this coming January, and I'm kind of pissed off about that. But such is the price you pay for having a computer, I suppose. So that would be my vlog. This is Chris Reese Kane signing out. And have a good day!